John Posey.
No.
So, can you guys hear me okay? So I make a lot of decisions, and some decisions are good decisions, and some decisions are bad decisions. So some of the decisions I make could be like, what hand do I want to hold the microphone with? Some things just feel right. And some things sometimes don't feel right. I started making decisions when I was very young, and there's some spontaneous decisions that you make. And those are the kind of decisions that, you make your blood percolate, and you feel good about them sometimes, and sometimes you don't feel good about them. But I'm going to give you an example of a spontaneous decision I made. I went to Catholic school. I grew up in Philadelphia, a town called Bridesburg, and the decision I made was on my first penance. It was a week before my first Holy Communion. The sister was leading the class into the church. They would put us in single file, 2 separate lines, by order of size. And as we were being led into church, I was nervous. So the key thing is to try to get the sister's attention before you do anything. So I had to go to the bathroom. I had to really go. So I'm getting my hand up, and the sister's just ignoring me, and she just divided us into certain groups. And I went to the confession box. So groups of 4. And I was in the back, and I was just waiting for my turn to go into confession for the first time. And I'm bursting. I'm ready to go. I have to pee, and I'm in line 4, and I'm just waiting there. And over time, the kids come in and out of the confession box. I finally get into the confession box, and I'm ready. I've already know how to do my communion. And I kneel down, and I go, "Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. This is my first confession." So the priest on the other side says to me, "Welcome to the Lord of God. I'm ready to hear your sins." So I go with the first sin. I say, "Father, I stole quarters out of my mom's pocketbook." And he says to me, "That is a sin. One of the commandments was honor thy father and thy mother." And he broke another commandment, "Thou shalt not steal." And then all of a sudden, I go, So I go next with my next sin. I say, "Father, I have cursed 47 times. So the priest says to me, "Son, bad language is the tongue of the devil." So the priest then says, "Is there any more sins that you want to confess?" And I say, "Yes, Father. I have done very bad things to my wiener." So all I hear on the other side is silence. So the priest is quiet, and I hear heavy breathing. So I start to go with my fourth sin, and I said, "Father, I have lied. And all of a sudden I hear the priest say, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's back up. I want to hear more about what bad things you've done to your wiener. So I leave the confession box. It's a puddle of mess there. The lady behind me goes in next, and I just took out after that. So that was a spontaneous decision I had, and I got through it. Some other things that I do with my life is around compassion. I'm working on compassion. Some of the things I've done is around friendships and being able to be compassionate with the friends that I have. When I was 18, I had 2 roommates and my brother. We lived in a duplex house. And on Saturdays, we would go to work, I would go to school, and then we would congregate in the house. And we would just decide what we were going to do that Saturday. A lot of times what would happen is we would just sit there and watch wrestling or baseball. So I was there one day with my friend Tony, and we were just sitting there on the couch, and we're just watching the TV. My friend Joe would come. He was a drywall taper. He would work a lot of overtime, and on Saturdays he would come in, and he would just sit there and just sort of talk to us and tell him about his day. So one day he would come in and he said, you know, I'm really hungry, I'm hungry. So Tony and I had a whole thing going on. We would look at each other and just say, well, we're not really that hungry yet. And then Joe would just say, man, I could go for some of these hoagie houses. You sure you don't want to do any of that? And we would just sit there and we'd say, nah, no, we're not hungry. And then all of a sudden these magic words would come out of Joe's mouth. He would say, I'll buy. And then as soon as those words came out, I was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. So my friend Tony would get the little pad of paper and start writing down, so what do you want, John? Do you want a hoagie? I say Italian, extra pickles. He would get the turkey and cheese. Then all of a sudden my brother would come in, he would hear buy, so he would run in and he goes, I want a 2-foot hoagie, because he would always go above the streams. And Joe's just looking at us, just waiting there and saying, oh my goodness. So the next thing is, okay, who's going to go pick up the hoagies? So Joe goes with my brother, and I had another friend, Pete, and they go off and go try to go get the hoagies. So time goes on. It's still like 35, 40 minutes, and me and Tony's watching TV, and we're just saying, what the heck are there? We're getting hungry here. So eventually they come in. Joe pulls into the house, and there's the car, and all of a sudden there's chaos that happens. My friend Pete comes in and says, oh, I hit my head, Joe crashed, his brakes went out, he was sliding and doing all this stuff. So Tony's very compassionate, he goes up to Joe, you all right, everybody's all right? I come down, I go, where's the hoagies? Are they okay? So that's my compassion side. So I started with decisions, I have another decision to make. So I'm going to decide on this decision.
Is that it? Oh, okay. Oh, no.
I'll be back next month.